Okay, good afternoon, or good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, October 18th, 2022 at 6 p.m. And I'll call to order the Freetown Board of Selectmen meeting. This meeting will be recorded and will be available on our town YouTube page. We will be going into executive session, but then returning back into open session. We are going into executive session for the following reason. Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining with the Freetown Police Association, because an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the body, of the public body in the chair so declares, and I do. With that, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Selectman Lopes?
Yes.
Selectman Zager?
Yes.
Selectman Matthews?
Yes. We're now in executive session. We are now back in open session from executive session. We're going to go a little out of order. That's okay with you guys for your time?
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to jump over and take over Board of Health for agenda item 10.
All right, thank you. All right, so number 10, discussion and vote on whether to approve the Board of Health participating in the South Coast Public Health Collaborative. So about a week ago now, Kevin Dismaris, Laurie Dismaris, both of them, and I and a couple other people met, and we went over with them what this was all about. So it's basically, in a nutshell, and I'll let Kevin and Laurie speak a little more detail of it, is a collaboration that's formed through the state, will be headed in Westport, would include Westport, Marion, Mattapoisett, Lakeville, Rochester, and Freetown. Basically, the idea of this is their services are hard to come by, right? So if Kevin's not in or needs help with something, he can call over them and get help. So it's kind of a regionalization. A couple of key factors though is that they do not want us, this is not a replacement of Kevin or Laurie. It's really to help add to. So there's a lot of positive things. There was a lot of questions asked in the meeting and a lot of answers. So I would like to ask Laurie and Kevin if they have anything they would like to.
Sure, I think, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think it's important to note that this is no cost and no long-term commitment or obligation. Simply put, if we find out that this isn't working to our favor, then we could simply remove ourselves. One of the benefits it does, it opens up an opportunity. We met a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, and we kind of went over what the role is, of what the responsibilities are, and I think everybody in the room agreed that there's a lot of work and a lot of responsibility, and it's very difficult. And I think out of that conversation came through Matt and Tanya from Westport, was that they're not making Board of Health agents anymore. It's hard to come by. It's hard to find people that are, particularly they're going to be qualified or super qualified and everything. They're going to have general knowledge. So in instances, say a housing complaint, right? Those are laborious, they're tedious, they're time-consuming. Councils here, they can oftentimes end up in court, which take those types of situations. We could simply ask this group if they would have somebody available. They could handle something like that. If we had an overabundance of food inspections and all, I don't anticipate that we'd be using them daily, weekly. Probably keep in a monthly loop. That way they don't forget about us, so to speak. The town had an opportunity a couple years ago to enter into a similar agreement with, it was a different scenario where there weren't very many assurances on level of service that we were going to get from that. Absolutely. And I think there's a much better feeling of commitment to a level of service to all participating communities.
Similar size communities.
Exactly. Similar size, similar needs, similar staffing levels. If you look at all of those, they're going to all have a full or close to full-time Board of Health agent. They may have a part-time public health nurse. Westport may be a little bit more in advanced, but they're all in a similar situation. They realize it. And the more and more of these trainings, the more and more of these discussions I have, group discussions, we all know to a man or a woman that it's impossible sometimes to get everything that the state or federal government is requiring of our boards of health to get done. And I think you guys recognize that too, to a certain degree, which is why we're going to have a separate Board of Health now, right? You guys have a plate full of stuff. So, I think, and if it would, I felt much better understanding that there is no long-term commitment and there is no cost associated with this. We will, all members will have an equal voice at the table, so we'll have one full-time member, one alternate. We'll talk
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
thank you.
Right, voting members, so there'll be what they call the Board of Governors, right? So they would get together and see, how do we do? And they're anticipating hiring one director, again, paid out of this grant, no cost. And then hiring either a couple full-time health agents, but they readily admitted, it's hard to find health agents. It's hard to find people that want to even be, proficient in all that. So they may end up hiring several part-timers that have their specialties, whether it's food, housing, septic. that
Based
kind of
on the
stuff.
needs of the communities that are involved in the boards, right? So they basically that was one of the things, and thank you, Kevin, was they said, we have these 6 communities and they all come together and they're like, you know what, we're all dying for a need to have a good public health nurse. Well, that's what we need. And so then that's where they actively go after and say, okay, let's get a public health nurse that can help all these communities. So it's really about trying to help each community. And I will say that Kevin nailed it a couple of times by saying that we can back out at any point. So that did make me feel a little bit better, because we initially were signed up for this and backed out of it because we were gonna be, competing is the wrong word, but I'm gonna use the word competing with other towns and cities that were much bigger than us. So it's, we didn't wanna become the forgotten one. So we backed out. They allowed us to back out then, and they've assured us that if we decide that a year down the road, 2 weeks down the road, 2 days down the road, we want to back out, we back out.
Yeah, that's to your point, that's the good feeling that we got.
Yeah.
All the communities are similar needs, similar issues, right? None of them have, Westport again is going to have its proximity to Fall River and the highways, but they're gonna have some restaurants, but not like Dartmouth, right? So they're gonna have some housing issues, but most of it is single-family homes, right? You're gonna have some town sewer and some town water in some of these towns, but you're still gonna have wells. So, yeah, I felt good about it, felt really good after meeting those folks. I know, and I don't wanna speak for Lori, but Marion is ambitious to get started on this program, and because you're having a hard time finding a part-time help, right? Yeah, so people aren't even applying.
So do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We know.
We know.
We know.
No, this just seems like
Part of why I'm here, right? So-
It's a benefit to the town.
Yeah, it seems like,
Yeah.
seems like
It is. So if you're looking for a recommendation from us, yes, we would wholeheartedly recommend that you folks enter into this agreement.
perfect.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Resources are hard to come by these days.
Yeah.
Anything we do to help each other out is the way to go.
Yeah, to
Absolutely.
your point, resources are hard to come by, Carlos, and if this is a no-cost resource, then
Yeah, let's take
it comes
it.
up, yeah.
So with that, I will entertain a motion to approve the Board of Health participating in the South Coast Public Health Collaborative.
I'll make that motion.
My second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. So number 11, to kind of piggyback off that, discussion vote on whether to approve the interim town administrator to sign all paperwork relative to the South Coast Public Health Collaborative. So obviously,
Add another hat to your title.
So,
We didn't have the paperwork originally when we put the packet together. I think we do have it now, so Jared and I can sign it, but in the future, that way I can just sign it to keep things facilitated.
Expedited things, yes,
yeah.
right,
Okay.
right.
So with that, I will, do you guys have any discussion, any questions?
Nope.
No. All right, so with that, I will entertain a motion to approve the interim town administrator to sign all paperwork related to the South Coast Public Health Collaborative.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
All right.
Great night.
You as well.
So I'll jump back to,
Free COVID test.
Thank you.
okay, so agenda item 2 is the open session minutes from 10/3/2022. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the open session minutes from 10/3/2022.
Motion made.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. So we have weekly warrants 20 through 23, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the weekly warrants 20 through 23.
Motion made.
Second?
All in favor? Agenda item 4, we have some land that's being gifted from the MBTA. And this is related to, obviously, the South Coast Rail. They took the land, now they're giving it back, from what I understand.
nice of them.
Yep, so it's, so I'll entertain a motion to accept the gift of land at 15 Richmond Road and 0 Forge Road, map 207, lot 32.02 in Sonnet from the MBTA.
I'll make that motion.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right. Yeah,
Just a quick question, or quick point on that. That's being accepted as conservation
Yes.
property, is being donated to the Conservation Commission?
actually, yeah, you're right. So,
Just for clarification.
yeah, you're right. It's right on the agenda, so I should have said that.
Thank you.
Thank you for the correction. That doesn't require a revote, though, right?
No, you're good. I just, because obviously, under chapter 40, section 8C, the town can accept gifts of property through the Conservation Commission with approval of the board without having to go to town meeting.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to make that clarification on the record.
Yeah, that makes sense, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on, agenda
That's
item 5 is for painting of the exterior of the village schoolhouse building bid. So, in this case, we actually had 2 of the same exact bid amount.
Exactly, yes. So basically flipped a coin, MG Painting Contractors, I checked all their references, they were all good,
Yeah,
and I feel comfortable with.
MG?
Yes.
Okay. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to award the painting of the exterior of the village schoolhouse building bid to MG Painting Contractors LLC.
Motion made.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I should say the bid came in at $64,000.
Yes.
Twice. There was one lower bid, but they didn't provide the bottle.
Non-responsive.
Yeah.
There was actually 2 lower bids, both non-responsive.
Okay, all right. So with that, agenda item 6 related is, I'll entertain a motion to approve the contract between the town of Freetown and MG Painters Contractors LLC for the painting of the exterior of the village schoolhouse building.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're gonna pass on agenda item 7. We're looking for some more information on that.
I just need to review the bids, to be honest.
I tried reviewing them today, there's a lot.
I just don't have
it's a
time.
big packet this
I didn't
week.
have time.
Yeah.
I want to make sure they're all responsive.
Also, in the bid, the 2 I saw, the dollar value was dramatically different.
Yeah, I need to review them for responsiveness, so they have everything in the packet. And I
Yeah.
have not had the time to do that.
Nope, understand. Okay, so skipping 7, going to 8. So this is the warrant for the November 8th state election. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the warrant for the November 8th state election.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ambulance abatements and write-offs. So for September, the amount was $6,942.02, which seems extremely low, by the way.
Yeah,
that-
it's normally like
Yeah.
60s.
We did a little higher.
I thought it was a misprint at first, but I looked at it.
No, I looked at it twice.
That's what it is. Okay.
We're good.
So, any discussion on this? No?
No.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the ambulance abatements and write-off for September in the amount of $6,942.02.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Board of Health has been taken care of. So, Selectman Lopes, kick it over to you for personnel.
All right, item agenda number 12, discussion and vote on whether to appoint the following positions. A through C is A, Vanessa Blanchette, recording clerk for Finance Committee, effective 10/11/2022 through 6/30/2023. B, Cheryl Quinlan, recording clerk for Finance Committee, effective 10/11/2022 through 6/30/2023. And C, Karen Costello, Gary Guinan, thank you. Barbara Quintel and Robert Rooston as election workers effective 10/18/2022 through 8/15/2023. So most of these are from previous discussions we've had. We just hired them as part of the economic committees. We're just doing a full circle after speaking with the clerk to make sure that they're covered on all committees that they're going to be on. This is just checking that box.
Okay.
And of course, the election workers, that's we get them every year, so adding to the muster.
All right.
Any questions, concerns?
No.
All right. In that case, I vote to approve of Vanessa Blanchette for recording clerk, Finance Committee, for the times discussed. Cheryl Quinlan, recording clerk for Finance Committee, for the time period discussed as well. And Karen Costello, Gary Guinan, Barbara Quintel, Guinan. Sorry, Gary. Barbara Quintel and Robert Rooston for election workers effective through their time frames.
All right, I'll make that motion.
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Item agenda 13, acknowledge the resignation of Jeffrey Chandler, Building Commissioner, effective 10/27/2022. I believe we all received an email last Friday regarding Jeffrey following family down south. Pretty straightforward, but open for discussion if anyone has any questions or concerns.
No, just appreciate his time in the town and,
Absolutely.
wishing him best of luck with all his future endeavors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being a granddad is a big responsibility, so
Yeah.
we'll miss him. So in that case, I vote to approve the resignation of Jeffrey Chandler, Building Commissioner, effective 10/27/2022.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item agenda 14, discussion and vote on whether to approve the memorandum of agreement, MOA, between the town of Freetown and the Freetown Police Association. This is an article for tonight as far as dollar amount, but this is just for the discussion agreement based on the agreement that was signed today by the Police Association. I believe we answered the questions and got the answers we needed to go ahead and approve this, but again, open for discussion or any other questions.
Just my only point or thing I want to mention is I know a lot of hard work went into getting this MOA done, so I'd like to thank, the union, the police chief, Debbie, and team who did a lot of work, and also our council who worked on that, so if I make that note.
No, accepted, absolutely, it's great teamwork. In that case, I vote to approve the memorandum of agreement, MOA, between the town of Freetown and the Freetown Police Association.
I'll make that motion.
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye. All right, thank you. So I think we just have to sign documents now, and then we will adjourn and attend the town meeting.
These are all the MOA for the police.
Thank you.
Jared, that's the help one for you and Deb.
Thank you. Yes, I think that was-
Let me just adjourn.
These are the release deeds, there's 3 of them. Everybody wants an original. The painting of the schoolhouse.
You gotta sign all of them, or just one?
No, it's just a page, because someone else signed it. So.
Excellent. This one.
Call for the election. Ambulance abatements and write-offs.
What's the stationery?
So Deb can sign on collaborative health. These are all our appointment slips.
A lot to sign for a quick agenda.
I know.
Just feel like now I know what like the famous baseball players and football players and people walk up and just kind of all day.
We're just not famous.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, making a lot more doing it than we are. Right? All good.
Because I notarized.
They can actually talk to each other at town meeting.
It's just for that MBT.
You were actually asked in the last municipal, do we have to give minutes for that?
For the town meeting?
Yeah, they were sitting there, should we get them early?
I say my chicken scratch is somewhat consistent chicken scratch.
That's what you can see when you talk about the baseball players, right? After a while, it's just like, yep. 300 signatures later, 2 minutes, done.
You notarized it?
Yep.
Notarized it.
All right, With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.